Hi, everybody. We're here for episode number 320 of Drink Local, being filmed here tonight in Fame Bar in Palm Springs, right downtown, right smack downtown.
Oh, yeah, right in the heart.
Throwing distance from Sonny Bono's statue. I'm Pete Ahern, founding brewmaster and one of the owners of Ballast Point Brewing Company down in San Diego, and Ballast Point Brewing Company has some big news. We, about a month ago, opened our first restaurant. Before that, it was the 2 breweries and tasting bars, but now we have a full-fledged restaurant. It's called Ballast Point Tasting Room and Kitchen, and it's down in Little Italy on India Street, as opposed to Little India on Italy Street. Easy to confuse the two. And it's great. It's a big place. They've got a kind of a gastro pub fair going on there. Great German-style pretzels. I'm a big fan of German-style pretzels. Yeah. And all kinds of burgers, fish tacos, and some higher-end fare as well. And about 20 beers on tap. They have beer engines, casks, and a beer garden coming soon outdoors. So right now it's just the indoor place, but the indoor place is plenty big, except on a Saturday. And the beer garden should all be overflowing. And this is Roxanne from Fame.
Hi, I've been the manager here at Fame Lounge for the last 6 months. The store's been here for 12 years or so, with the lounge being open 5 years ago. But we've been carrying nothing but hard-to-find craft beers on tap by the bottle ever since. It's been great.
And this is just a great, you can probably see, it's a comfy place to grab a couch and sit back and
lose a couple hours, yes.
Lose a couple hours, which reminds me of an old Chinese proverb. If you give a man a beer, he'll waste an hour. If you teach a man to brew, he'll waste his life.
Gonna use that one. Thank you.
Yeah. And it reminds me, another piece of Ballast Point news is we now have cans of
awesome.
The highly sought after Sculpin, the Big Eye, the Pale Ale, which is a Kolsch, and the Longfin Lager, which is a Münchener Helles style.
How do you feel about this big move towards canned craft beers lately?
You know, I think cans got a really bad rap because people drink beer right out of the can, and really the can, you don't want to drink beer right out of the can. You want to pour it into a glass so that you can get all the aroma and flavor out of it. But cans they're a whole lot lighter than bottles if you're going camping or boating, and they actually there's less head space, there's less air space in a can, so the beer lasts longer. It won't age as long. It'll age better. It'll stay fresh longer. So awesome. In terms of packaging, brewmasters like it. It's just, I think, convincing people that cans aren't for cheap, crummy beer. So cans are for good beer.
That's right.
You can drink good beer out of a can, just pour it in a glass. Okay, so also we have Coachella Valley Local. This is Drink Local, and I'm talking about San Diego. We also, here in the Coachella Valley, our big news is Coachella Valley Brewing Company has been open for a couple months now. They are over in Thousand Palms, in that kind of industrial warehouse place. So if you get off Bob Hope and head north, you'll have to drive around a little bit to find it, but it's there.
It's worth the drive.
It's near the animal shelter.
Yes.
And it's great. They've got I think a 17-barrel system there, and they have about a dozen beers on tap now, and a wide range of beers. They're all the way from their Kolschella. They have a Kolsch. I like Kolsch's. I lived in Cologne for a while, so. They have a wheat beer that's very desert-themed wheat. They have a double date. It's a little low alcohol for a double, but it's good. It's really good. It's rich and delicious. They have some big, monstrous IPAs. I really like the Monumentus, which is a rye IPA over there. So definitely they have some stuff with wet hops. And you were talking about the Volstead, right?
Yeah, we actually have the Volstead on tap. It's a pre-prohibition style Pilsner. They used New Zealand hops, Czechoslovakian corn. It's really unique.
They had to go all the way to Czechoslovakia to get
yes.
corn? There's no American corn?
Yeah, they ran out, obviously.
The Czechoslovakian corn is more corny than the...
It's more authentic.
It's more authentic. I don't know why Czechoslovakian corn. All right. We'll taste that one
Fair
later,
enough.
right?
Yes,
All
definitely.
right. So head over there. They've got, I think when it's busy on the weekends, they've got food trucks there. So they don't have food, but
Amazing tacos.
yeah. So you can park over there, have a taster set, and anyway, it's something that the Coachella Valley's really been missing is a real local microbrewery. It's so great. Good news. I wish them. They're like Ballast Point was 15 years ago. So very exciting. All right, so we're Roxanne poured us something. We don't know what it is, right?
Blind taste.
We'll start with the blind tasting, and then we'll pick a couple off the menu. And I think it's more honest to blind taste because when you know what you're tasting,
Yeah, a little biased sometimes.
you get a little biased. You kind of know what you think ahead of time. So it's nice to approach something blind when you really want to taste it.
Yeah.
So
I'm really excited about this
let's
one.
dip into this one here. It's obviously dark. I don't need to be not that blind, but all right. Well, that's it's big. It's kind of on the sweet side. It's got a lot of alcohol to it.
Malty, yeah.
Very on the malty side. Not a lot of hops coming through. There are lots of kind of coffee notes. Maybe even like a cooked down, almost like a Kahlua kind of note on the top there. Maybe a little vanilla. Yeah, definitely some strong coffee. Some kind of fruity notes from the yeast probably there. A little bit of berry jammy. Ooh, nice and warming.
Yes.
Definitely there's some alcohol in that. Is there a little bit of maybe a little of a sour mash going on there?
Maybe.
I don't think it's I'm not getting a sour barrel thing, but it may be like a sour mash, like a Guinness, a little bit of a sour mash to it. It's nice.
You like it?
It's delicious. What is it? What are we drinking?
This is the Firestone Walker Velvet Merkin.
Ooh,
Yes.
all right.
Aged in bourbon barrels for a year.
Ah, that would be the vanilla note.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay,
yeah.
there we go.
I think it's 10%.
Oh, and maybe when I was saying Kahlua, there's that kind of alcoholic
Yeah, that
richness.
liqueur
that
sort of flavor.
Syrupiness, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
Aged how long?
A year.
Nice. Jack Daniels barrels or Jim Beam barrels?
Black velvet,
Yeah.
I don't know.
So you use bourbon barrels. All right,
Yes.
great.
My favorite beer on tap right now.
And that's a nice one for a cold day like today, because
Pairs really well with cigars.
I'll bet it
Excellent.
does. Wow. Well, thanks, Roxanne, for pouring this for us.
Glad you
All right.
like it.
So now we're going to pull up the menu now, and we're going to pick maybe two more to taste and talk about. So what did you pour for us here,
All right.
Roxanne?
This is the Coachella Valley Brewing Volstead pre-prohibition Pilsner.
All right. So Volstead Act was the law that banned alcohol. So pre-prohibition
Appropriate,
means.
yeah.
So this is. Do you know anything about this one?
I don't.
Oh, okay.
Inform me, educate me.
Oh well, I'm guessing it's called a pre-prohibition lager, right? So this is what a American lager would have been
they called
before
it
prohibition.
an IPL, I think.
India Pale Lager. Okay. So I don't know that before prohibition they made very very hoppy type beers. I don't know that was a thing. They were German brewers, so they would have used German hops. They probably would have kept the hopping probably in some sort of balance. Depends what part of Germany they came from. But I think they probably came from the south of Germany. So more malt, less hops. They used a lot of... so one of the things they found is that American barley was very high in protein and low in starch. So they added a lot of extra starch to it. They added things like corn back then, or rice. And nowadays... we have the kind of barleys growing here that are more like the European barleys, so you get a very good beer. You don't need to add those adjuncts. The big American brewers, Coors, Bud, Miller, they add a lot of corn or rice to their beer. But pre-prohibition lagers, the German brewers were kind of trying to balance the very, very high protein, very low starch American malts by adding an extra source of starch to it to give it a little balance. So anyway, let's see what did it taste like before prohibition here. So it's got a kind of a nice pale color, a little color there, maybe a little Munich malt, a little bit, not totally pale malt in there, and definitely not. You would think adjunct corn would make it very pale. So there's a little bit of sweet, maybe Munich malt in there, giving it that little orangey color.
Okay.
I'm getting some kind of soapy, spicy European hops. Spice, but there's also kind of a citrusy, maybe like kind of tangerine
really
peel,
crisp
citrus peel
flavor.
crisp thing. I'm guessing a blend of American and European hops.
It's New Zealand.
It's New Zealand. New Zealand hops. Okay, and a lot of the New Zealand hops are very much. There's no native New Zealand hops, so a lot of the New Zealand hops are they're creating their own new varieties.
Okay.
But they're based on American varieties, European varieties, or clones or breedings of those. So I think that's where that fruity, that citrusy note is coming from. All right.
Cool.
Not really getting a lot of in the nose here that tells me this is a lager. It almost seems, maybe because of so much hops, it's almost taking out any lager character. It definitely, the aroma, I'm thinking ale, but it says it's a lager, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. A little bit of sweetness, but pretty nice crisp, dry finish. Definitely a lot of hops in the finish also. Pretty high bitterness. Probably not real close to what an actual I'm guessing a pre-prohibition lager would have tasted more closer to, but I don't know that much about it. I could be completely full of crap right here. I've never had a pre-prohibition lager. I wasn't around in 1918, so I'm probably just BSing right now. But but it's a good beer. Hey,
it is good.
Who cares if it's historically accurate or not? It's good. All right. Well, thank you for that.
Yeah, no
Appreciate
problem.
it. All right. And cheers to Coachella Valley Brewing Company, and congratulations on being in business. All right. So, Roxanne, what are we drinking next?
All right. This is the Ale Industries Sour. We just got it on tap. As far as I know, we're the only people in the valley with a sour on tap. So I'm really excited to
So it's
try
like a
this
Belgian sour. Is it barrel aged? Well, we'll find out.
I believe it is barrel aged,
Barrel aged?
actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like an Oud Brun.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Oh, nice balance of sour and sweet in there. Very refreshing, very cleansing. I can see if you're not used to sours, it might be a little over sour, but
Yeah. Luckily, sours are my
So for those of you in TV land, sour beers are kind of a Belgian specialty, where they also the Berlin, they make a sour beer, but in Belgium they will take a beer, and the sourness either comes from pumping it onto the roof of the brewery and letting it cool overnight, and microorganisms fall out of the air
it's like natural
onto the beer. That's what goes on in Brussels. And then there's also within the barrels themselves, over time, microorganisms start to inhabit the barrels. They use the barrels over and over again, and barrels are wood. You can't sterilize barrels, and they don't really try to sterilize them there. And so the microorganisms there, in addition to yeast, there's different kinds of bacteria that sour the beer and add really complex flavors to them.
Okay.
So, but it's not like a vinegary sour. It's a really nice, fruity, pleasant. There's a lot of kind of really fruity flavors coming off. Almost a raspberry kind of. Yeah, you were going to say the same? Yeah. And I don't think there's any raspberry in this beer, right? That's just coming from the wild yeast and yeast. I don't think there is. It's. Wow, that's a real pleasure. Get down to Fame and have one of these. All right, Roxanne. So what are we? What's our last taster for the night?
All right, the last one is going to be Damnation, the much coveted Damnation from Russian River. We had to fight tooth and nail to get this in the store, but I think it was worth it.
Wow, this is one of Vinnie Cilurzo's brews. Vinnie Cilurzo used to be the brewer at the one of the early microbrews in Southern California, Blind Pig down in Temecula. And they put out some amazing beers there that really kind of define maybe the inventor of the West Coast IPA style. Is Vinny Chilurzo. Now he's up at Russian River and brewing some amazing stuff. So let's taste this. All right. Well, everything about the nose says Belgium. It's like a real wild yeast character, spicy, clovey.
Banana.
Definitely some banana, some maybe black pepper kind of.
Little bit.
Black pepper, clove.
Smell that, yeah.
And yeah. Ooh. Really nice balance. Not overly alcoholic, not just a really nice malt hops balance. Rich on the tongue, kind of sparkly, warming, happy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This is sessionable.
This is a happy beer. How many bottles of this do you have? Don't bother coming down to Fame for this because we will drink it all.
Drink all of them.
We're going to drink all of it. No, there'll be some left. So where is Fame located?
We are at 155 South Palm Canyon Drive in beautiful downtown Palm Springs, Suite A3. We're about 2 doors down from Ruby's Diner. Real easy to find just past the Sonny Bono statue. We're open 10 to 10, Sunday through Wednesday, and 10 to midnight, Thursday through Saturday. We have tons of cigars to choose from, 10 craft beers on tap at all times, dozens of craft beers by the bottle, wine by the glass, and we're happy to help pair the cigars with the wine or beer.
Any canned wines?
No canned wines.
No canned wines yet?
Wines yet.
Darn it! I love canned wines on the airplanes.
Oh yeah, the little no, not yet. And we do have a website. It's fame-lounge.com. It has everything we have on tap and by the glass available. So if you want to take a look.
And this is a really nice place to chill. They got some big comfy couches. They got a big chess table. You could hang out here for a long time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Easily.
Good. Awesome. Well,
Awesome.
well, thank you for joining us on Drink Local, episode number 1597.
Cheers.
Cheers.
1597.